Hey everybody, it's me, Russ, behind the wheel, right here, and I'm on my way to an automotive gig today. So naturally, I have my Auto Plus hat, which is a company that no longer exists. I have my jacket from the first shop I worked at, and my shirt from working at the Ford dealer. So I got all the apparel on today to do this task. I'm excited. I haven't had a automotive task in like over a month. Toyota RAV4, gonna go diagnose a possible charging problem. I'm ready to put an alternator in this thing if I have to. But hopefully it won't come to that. Odds are I know it's wrong because we had a lot of this happen at both shops I worked at. So. And here we are, 2018 Toyota RAV4.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
And task complete. Oh yeah, it needed a jump start and ran my scan tool through it. The battery is good, but needs to be charged, right? Doesn't have any issues with battery. Battery's the same battery that came with the vehicle, 2018. So it's going on 5 years old, but it is a Toyota factory battery. So that's one of those things, you know. Do you recommend a battery just because the battery's 5 years old? No, not if there's nothing wrong with it. If it ain't fixed, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't fixed, don't break it. You see what I'm saying? Like, the Toyota factory battery is going to be a better battery in the long run for the life of the battery. I've seen some of these batteries last 8 to 10 years right out, Toyota batteries right out of the factory. We've changed out batteries that were, old. These batteries, they're good batteries. So if it was like a aftermarket battery and it was 5 years old, something from, I don't know, Walmart or O'Reilly or AutoZone or something like that, Duralast or something, I may suggest, just because it's 5 years old and we're in the shop, go ahead and replace the battery. But I don't think that's the issue with this guy, which is great. So I used my jump box to start it. This is a little compact. I watch Project Farm. If you ever watch that channel, he basically put a bunch of these up against each other, and this one came in second, and this was 70 bucks, all right? So it was much cheaper than the first place, which was $300. But this one, I've started a Dodge 2500 with this dead, like totally dead. Like I opened the door and the dome light didn't even come on. And my friends at the shop were like, oh yeah, this isn't gonna work, Russ. Bring the jump box. I'm like, I had just bought this, so I'm like, yeah, I want to try it, And sure enough, man, it fired up that big old Dodge 2500. So if you're running into this issue where battery's good, alternator's good, you go out to your car and it won't start, it needs to jump, it's because you're not driving it, all right? Drive your car, man. Car is meant to be driven. You can take it out for a drive, and a good long drive, 20, 30 miles. It's autumn, go see the leaves falling. Stuff like that, drive your car. If you have a garage, it's a good time. Get a trickle charger, all right? Get a little trickle charger. I'll put a link in the description for one of those as well. And you can put your car in a trickle charger in your garage, and it'll keep the battery nice and charged for you. People in really cold climates will do this. I've seen people in apartment complexes, right? In cold climates, they run an extension cord out to their car and put it on the trickle charger because you need them cold cranking amps in the morning. That would be my recommendation. That's what my recommendation was for this guy. And he had a little jump box that he bought. It was sort of a cheapy thing he got on Amazon for like 50 bucks. You're gonna need at least, at peak, like 1,000 cold cranking amps out of one of these things, all right? And it needs to at least boost, 400 cranking amps, at least just at the beginning. You should get at least 400 or 500 out of it. If you're not, then it's probably not going to start your car, especially if you have a V8 engine. But a lot of modern cars nowadays have so much electronics going on. Just when you turn the key over, there's just a lot going on. So you're going to need them cold cranking amps. So, I wouldn't buy a jump box that's less than 80 bucks. All right. Again, I'll put the Project Farm. He just did a new video on this too, by the way, and he's got a lot of great recommendations. He does like competition, right? Put them up against each other, help you decide which one's the best to buy in this situation. But yeah, I recommend a little jump box. I did a charging system test with my other device. I'll put a link to both of these in the description too, by the way, if you want to get one of these yourself. This guy, I used this the shop, both shops I worked at the Ford dealership, and the other shop for many years. This one, not many years. I didn't work there for many years, to be honest. Maybe 2 years. But yeah, this guy does a great job in testing batteries and charging systems and cranking and all of that. Test your starter, see if your starter's cranking appropriately. Put a link in the description for that as well. There was only one time where that didn't perform well, and it gave me a false positive. It said the battery was good, recharge. Battery was actually bad. But this was on a Ford C-Max hybrid vehicle. It was the 12-volt battery, that ran the little engine. So these batteries perform and behave differently than a normal battery in a normal car. All right, so I'll give it that as far as a tool for checking charging systems. Toyota RAV4, it's a good vehicle. He's going to make a pretty good profit on it thanks to the shortage of used vehicles right now, especially here in the Seattle area. So yeah, now I charged a minimum of an hour and a half for this, so I made it $100 just to come and check his charging system here in the van. So, not a bad deal today. I have some other stuff I can do, and I'll call a guy about putting in some switches. TaskRabbit. This is gig life. That's what I'm doing now. Thanks for watching, and again, links in the description for these things if you'd like to pick one up. I don't know if they still sell this. I tried to buy another one. I have one in this van. I have one in the G6, and I was going to get one for Vinny the van, just because they're great to have around. And by the way, look at that Cadillac. Hey, look at that Cadillac. Look at that. It's a Stray Cat song.